Man, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tyrone Hunter. Yours truly, your host of What's Really Good Entertainment. Tonight we have a different kind of topic, but we got to speak about it. You know my motto. I'm not gonna hold you. You see the title, so let's get right into it. And special shout out to all of my supporters, all of my subscribers, everybody that been rocking with the channel. I appreciate you. If you're new to the channel and you're just checking in for the first time, make sure you hit the like button on the way in the door. And subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the content. So today we're going to be talking about a 15-year-old that was just shot by police at SIXFLAGS over Georgia, which is an amusement park. And this just happened on Saturday, 48 hours ago. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, give you my feelings on it. And, we're going to try to understand what's really good. Like, how does a 15-year-old go about getting shot at an amusement park by police? And it's crazy out here. But that's the topic, and that's what we're going to be discussing. And I'm going to just run the clip, and then I'm going to discuss it, and tell you what's what as we listening to it. So check me out.
It was chaos and panic on opening day at Six Flags over Georgia after officials say 500 to 600 people ran through the park fighting. This all led to an exchange of gunfire right outside of the property that sent at least one person to the hospital. Thanks so much for joining us on this very busy Saturday night. I'm Eric Perry. This all unfolding just after 6 this evening. Fox 5's Joy Dukes is live for us. Joy, Eric, you've been working this scene. We see the crime tape and the roller coaster behind you. Walk us through what you're learning.
Okay, so preliminarily, right, basic information, it was 500 to 600 kids that was involved, teenagers that was involved in a Royal Rumble fight at this amusement park. One person was shot, thankfully. And we don't want to, first and foremost, there shouldn't be no violence like that at an amusement park where you have grandparents, you have elderly people, you got mothers, you got fathers, you got young kids. It's like this is getting out of control in terms of the violence that's taking place in our community with the youth. But, let's go back to the story, and, we're going to talk about it some more.
Good evening to you. Just absolute chaos, as you mentioned there, erupted here near Six Flags earlier this evening, where GBI officials say they are investigating an officer-involved shooting that left one person with a gunshot wound. Now, this all started, as you mentioned earlier there, when Six Flags Park security say that they were met with an unruly crowd of about 500 or 600 people here inside the park that were running through the property and fighting. They contacted Cobb County officers for backup.
So 500 to 600 kids were running rampant in an amusement park fighting. The incident was responded to by security, and the situation was a little bit, too much to handle for security, so they wound up calling the police. The reason why I stopped right there is because I want to ask a question. What's going on in these households that these young kids, these young adults, these teenagers are going to certain places thinking it's okay and thinking that this is the way that they're supposed to behave? How do 500-600 kids get in their mind that they're going to cause this kind of ruckus and cause this kind of situation at an amusement park? 500 to 600 people, 500 to 600 kids fighting in an amusement park. So none of them kids, none of their parents taught them or tell them, like, this is the way that you're supposed to behave. But because that's not happening, this is why one of these 15-year-olds got shot. And I'm pretty sure, whosoever the parent is, they going to get on the news, broadcast or, they gonna jump in an interview and saying, oh, my kid was nothing but a good boy. Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy out here. It's wicked.
Officers were trying to get that crowd of people off of the property. They say those individuals fired at officers who then fired shots back, hitting one person. And that person was taken to the hospital for treatment. We're told no officers were injured, but a vehicle was damaged. Videos of the incident have been circulating online. They show a herd of park goers stampeding out of the park property, just trying to get to safety.
Now listen at this. So these kids was wilding inside the park. Security called police. Police got them outside the park so that, they could go about their way. And somebody that was in the crowd fired on police. And police exchanged fire and somebody got hit. So this is going on outside the park, which made it become a stampede inside the park where so many more people could have got injured. But let's get back to the story.
At the sound of those gunshots, park officials said there were no shots fired on park property and that the shooting itself took place on South Service Road, which is obviously just a few hundred feet from what you can see here, park property. But they say that the culprits seem to be underage kids. In a statement from a spokesperson, they said, quote, "Our goal is to provide safe, fun entertainment. It is incredibly disappointing that our community is disrupted at public events throughout the region by groups of underage youth. Just like other venues in the area, we are committed to keeping this type of trouble outside our park and off of our property." Now, we spoke with a woman who lives nearby. Here's what she had to say about the ordeal.
Unbelievable. Embarrassing, as well as it's unacceptable. These is like school-age kids out here firing, shooting at police. So you know what? As a result of this incident, this 15-year-old kid was shot, and now he's going to go to prison for shooting at an officer. He's not going to graduate from school. He's not getting out of school, and they're going to charge him as an adult. So which means he's about to be locked up with grown men. And this is why it's so important for individuals like myself, for ex-gang members, for ex-prisoners, all of those individuals that's on YouTube, and as well as those that's in the community, that's trying to give back by educating, these youths in terms of the prison system, in terms of, the streets to try to deter them. This is why our job is so important and significant. And the least that, some of y'all could do is, man, start to support, some of y'all YouTubers, or some of these YouTubers that you come across that we trying to give this message and give this information to the youth, because it's clear that a lot of these kids that's out here today, and they getting younger and younger and younger, they don't realize that there's rules to this thing, and that there's rules to engagement. You do not start shooting at no amusement park. And then especially you start shooting at police. So it's like you put your life in danger as well as you put everybody around you life that was in danger because you want to fire on the police. This is not a video game. This is real life. And I'm not going to lie. Even though I don't have kids that are of that age as of yet, what I want to say to the youth, man, is I apologize to y'all. All of you young kids that's out here, running the streets, y'all gang banging, y'all picking up guns and y'all shooting at each other, y'all shooting at police. I want to apologize to y'all. I want to apologize that, some of y'all fathers and some of y'all mothers was incarcerated years ago and they was running the streets and you grew up without no direction. So you out here thinking that this stuff is cool. This is not cool. Y'all don't realize that y'all throwing y'all life away. And that one decision that this kid made is going to affect his life for the rest of his life. Because him firing on a police officer, what they're going to do is they're going to charge him with attempted murder on a police officer. That's the one thing. So that's in terms of the time that he's going to do in prison. On top of that, once he get into that system, them correctional officers or them officers that work in the county jail, wherever he gonna be at, they gonna give that boy a hard time. You come through with a crime against police, they be putting stuff in your food. They don't be giving you your food. They be beating on you, whipping on you, set you up for somebody else to do something for you. This child is about to have a rough ride. Man, we got to do a better job. We have to do a better job. And this is why videos like these kind of videos have to be shared. This kind of information have to be shared. It has to be put in front of a bigger audience so that other people could see this. So these kids can realize like somebody cared. Everybody didn't give up on them. I don't understand how these kids are going outside. They're in high school. They going to school and they going to these amusement parks with guns, not even old enough to be able to purchase a gun. But they going to amusement parks where you got babies and little kids there going to enjoy themselves. And these kids are going there with guns and bad intentions and ready to use them. Imagine if those guns would have went off in the amusement park. Imagine what that situation would have been like. How many innocent people would have got hurt? Man, listen, I can't save the world, and I'm only one person. You know, what we need to do is we need to start supporting these YouTubers, these individuals like myself, who's trying to give back to the community, who's trying to do something for the youth, who's trying to provide them some information to deter them from the streets, as well as to deter them from the Department of Corrections, from the prison system. Because you could go in that door, but it's hard to get out. Man, listen, this is what I want to do. My name is Tyrone Hunter, right? Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is DAHUNTER, the Hunter _Tyrone. TYRONE. Man, listen, if you know kids that's out there wilding, kids that's out there bugging out, you know, that need a mentor or a big brother, or somebody to talk to them, somebody to tell them about this thing, man, make sure you get them my information. Let them hit me in my DM. I will personally mentor them. I will personally, one-on-one, reach out to them and give them information so we could try to save some of these kids' lives. Because they don't realize the decisions that they making. This 15-year-old kid could have just got killed. And then we have all of these different protests talking about Black Lives Matter and be coming down on the police, you know, when incidents occur where a teenager is involved and an officer had to discharge his firearm. I'm not justifying what happened. I'm not saying who is right or who is wrong. I'm not picking a side in the matter. But now this is a clear situation of where we see an officer having to exchange fire with somebody and having to kill somebody and shoot somebody, And you know why it's no protest? Because they got video. They got footage. They know exactly what happened, so it's no protest. But if it was no footage, if all of the information wasn't out there, the first thing would have been, people would have been marching, shut down the police department, shut down the police, bring them up on charges, make them liable. But now when the information come out and surface that it's a child that fired on the police first, ain't no protesting. The police are a necessary part of society. And these children knowing how to conduct themselves and how to get their life back on track is necessary as well. But we all got to do our job. And I'm dead serious. Any kids out there, I don't care what state, I don't care what borough, I don't care if you from another country. Hit me in my DM, the Hunter, DAHUNTER _Tyrone, TYRONE. Holla at me. Lock in with me. I want to give you some personal information. I want to deal with you one-on-one. Even if we got to do some group chats. But you don't want to go in that direction, man. You don't want to throw your life down the drain. Parents, whoever not taking responsibility for their kids, okay, it's not happening. Somebody got to do it. And I'm willing to be one of them to step up to the plate. And if you think I'm playing, man, try me. Hit me in my DM on Instagram, or you could send me their information in the comments. You know, don't put their phone numbers and email address. It's easier to follow me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Send me their information and let them know I reach out to them personally. And make sure you share this video to them teenagers and to them kids and let them know, man, somebody care about them. And somebody want them to do good for their life. That's what's really good. It's easy to put a gun in these kids' hands and put some drugs in these kids' hands and send them out there to destroy themselves because they don't know what's waiting for them when they get behind those walls. And they incarcerated. They go in there 15 years old and they come out of there 40 years old, 45 years old. That's if they fortunate enough to make it out of there. Because people is dying in jail. People getting stabbed up. They getting killed in jail. Y'all kids don't want that, man. Y'all teenagers. I ain't even get an opportunity to live yet. Man, this is disturbing. But I want to do my part. I want to play my part. Follow me on Instagram. Send them kids my information. I'm willing to personally mentor them one-on-one. No matter how many of them it is. I'll make the time. DAHUNTER_Tyrone. Man, it's your boy Tyrone Hunter. That's what's really good, man. Holla at me. I'll catch y'all in the next one.